The first time you listen, you may understand very little. The second time, you begin to catch more. The third time, you start noticing new words and sentence patterns. By the fourth time, you feel more comfortable. And suddenly, what once sounded difficult begins to feel familiar. This is powerful because familiarity builds confidence, and confidence builds fluency. Now let's look at a simple method for active listening. First, choose a short audio or video, not too long. In the beginning, even 1 to 3 minutes is enough. Second, listen once without stopping. Focus only on the general idea. Do not worry if you miss many words. Third, listen again and pay attention to important words and phrases. Try to notice how sentences are formed. Fourth, if possible, listen again and repeat after the speaker. This step is very powerful because now your listening and speaking are working together. Fifth, go back and listen one more time. This time you will understand much more than before. This type of focused listening trains your brain far better than simply playing English in the background. Now understand another important truth. Active listening also improves your pronunciation. When you hear correct English again and again, your brain begins to copy the sounds. You start noticing stress, how words are connected, and how tone rises and falls in natural speech. All of this directly affects how you speak. Many learners focus only on reading and grammar, but their pronunciation stays weak because they do not listen enough. If you want your English to sound natural, your ears must hear natural English every day. Now let's connect this with vocabulary. Listening helps you learn vocabulary in a natural way. When you hear words in real sentences, you learn not only their meaning, but also how they are used. You understand where the word fits, how it sounds, and how it behaves in real communication. Because the word comes with context, your memory becomes stronger. For example, hearing a sentence like, "I'm looking forward to it," teaches you much more than simply memorizing the phrase. You hear the rhythm, the pronunciation, and the natural usage, and that makes the phrase stay in your memory longer. Now here is a mistake you must avoid. Do not feel upset if you cannot understand everything. Many learners think that if they do not understand every word, they are failing. That is not true. You do not need to understand every single word to improve. Even if you understand 60%, you are still learning. Even if you only understand the main idea, your brain is still being trained. Improvement comes from regular exposure, not from perfect understanding every time. So stay relaxed, stay patient, and keep listening. Now here is something very important. Listening every day also improves your thinking speed. When your brain hears English daily, it begins to process the language faster. At first, your brain needs more time to understand, but gradually it becomes quicker. It starts recognizing common patterns more easily. This speed later helps your speaking because speaking fast is not only about your mouth. It is also about how quickly your brain can process and produce language. Listening trains that speed quietly in the background. Now make this habit practical. Give English a place in your daily life. Listen in the morning. Listen while walking. Listen during breaks. Listen before sleep. Even 15 or 20 minutes of focused daily listening can create a big difference over time. But remember, do it with attention. Do it with purpose. Treat it like training, not like background noise. If you want to learn English quickly, you must stop treating listening as something optional. It is not extra, it is essential. Every strong English speaker is also a strong listener. They have heard thousands of sentences, expressions, and sounds. That is why English feels natural to them. So from today, listen to English every day. But do not just hear it. Study it with your ears. Feel it. Notice it. Repeat it. Absorb it. Because when your listening becomes strong, your speaking becomes strong. And when listening becomes part of your daily life, English stops feeling foreign and starts feeling familiar. And that is one of the fastest ways to learn English. Now let's move to step 5. Stay consistent. This is the final step, and in many ways, it is the most important. You can learn the best methods, watch the best lessons, understand every strategy clearly. But if you are not consistent, nothing will change. Most learners do not fail because English is too difficult. They fail because they stop. They begin with excitement. They feel motivated. They practice for a few days and tell themselves, this time I will really learn English. For 2 days, 3 days, maybe even 1 week, they do well. But then life becomes busy. They feel tired. They feel bored. They skip one day, then another, then another. Slowly, the habit disappears. The confidence drops. The cycle repeats. This is why consistency matters so much. English is not built in one powerful day. It is built in many simple days. Ordinary days when you show up and practice even when you do not feel motivated. Many people believe learning fast means working very hard for 1 or 2 days. But real fast learning comes from daily repetition, regular speaking, regular listening, regular thinking in English, and regular practice. The brain learns through repeated exposure, not through short bursts of energy. That is why someone who practices 20 minutes every day often improves faster than someone who studies 4 hours once a week. Daily practice keeps the language alive in your brain. It keeps your memory fresh. It keeps your speaking active. It keeps your listening sharp. And most importantly, it builds confidence step by step. Now understand something important. You do not need a perfect routine. You need a realistic routine. Many learners create big plans. They say, I will study 3 hours every day. I will learn 50 new words daily. I will speak for 1 hour every morning. At first, this sounds powerful, but in reality, it becomes difficult to maintain. After a few days, they feel tired and stop completely. That is why a small routine you can follow consistently is much better than a big routine you quit quickly. Even 30 minutes a day can change your English. Even 15 focused minutes can help. What matters is not how much you do in one day, but whether you continue every day. Let's make this simple. A strong daily routine can include thinking in English for a few minutes after waking up, listening for 10 to 15 minutes, speaking for 10 minutes about your day, learning a few useful sentences, and reviewing them before sleeping. This may seem small, but if you do it every day, the results will be powerful. Small actions repeated daily create big changes over time. Now here is another truth. Consistency is stronger than motivation. Motivation can help you start, but it does not stay forever. Some days you feel excited. Some days you feel tired. Some days you do not feel like doing anything. If you depend only on motivation, your progress will always be unstable. But when you build a habit, you continue even on difficult days. That is where real growth begins. Discipline allows you to continue when your feelings change, and fluency is built through discipline, not mood. Think about people who become truly skilled. They are not always the most talented. They are simply the most consistent. They keep showing up. They keep practicing. They continue when others stop. And that is why they succeed. Now let's talk about difficult days. There will be days when you feel tired, days when your English feels weak, days when you forget simple words, days when you feel like you are not improving. On those days, do not quit. Do less if needed, but do not stop completely. If you cannot study for 30 minutes, study for 10. If you cannot speak for 10 minutes, speak for 3. If you cannot learn a full lesson, review a few sentences. The goal is to protect the habit, because once the habit stays alive, your progress continues. Never let one bad day turn into a bad week, and never let a bad week end your journey. Consistency also builds your identity. When you practice daily, you stop thinking of yourself as someone who is trying to learn English. You begin to see yourself as someone who learns English every day. This identity changes your behavior. You become more serious, more disciplined, and more committed. Now connect everything together. You started by thinking in English. Then you began speaking daily. Then you learned sentences instead of just words. Then you practiced active listening. And now consistency brings all of these steps together. Without consistency, the other steps stay weak. With consistency, they become powerful. Consistency turns practice into progress. It turns effort into skill. It turns simple habits into real fluency. Now understand one final truth. Learning English fast does not mean rushing. It means avoiding waste. It means not spending months only reading without speaking. It means not memorizing words without using them. It means not waiting for confidence before you start speaking. It means following the right steps again and again until English becomes part of your life. That is the real fastest way. Not shortcuts, but smart, daily repetition. So from today, make a real decision. Tell yourself, I will stay consistent. I will practice every day. I will not wait for the perfect moment. I will not stop because progress feels slow. Because every day you practice, your English improves. One day, the words that felt difficult will come naturally. Speaking will feel easier. The language will become part of you. That is how real progress happens. Slowly, daily, honestly. And then suddenly it feels fast. Remember this. The fastest learners are not always the smartest. They are the ones who never stop. If you follow these 5 steps consistently, your English will grow. It will become stronger, more natural, and more confident. You now have a complete system, not just motivation, but a practical way to learn English fast. Think in English, speak daily, learn in sentences, listen actively, stay consistent. Your English will not change in one day. But if you follow this daily, one day everything will change. You will speak without fear. You will think without translating. You will express yourself clearly. And you will become the person you once thought you could never be. So keep going. Keep practicing. Keep improving. This is your journey to confidence, clarity, and a better future.